deadly charm, wicked smile. The first time that I saw you, I must admit I was mesmerized. I remember it all so very vividly. Every move that you made, every word you said burnt in my memory. Drawn to the light in your eyes, like a moth to a flame. The sound of your voice in the night, such a sweet serenade. Sweet serenade. Every move.
Hello? Okay, it's working. Good morning, everybody. You're most welcome to this special day as we launch our very, very special program that is dear to us as women. Am I okay? King T, it's going off. Okay. I would like to request those who are taking tea, please sit on the table and we start our agenda. You perhaps be walking one by one and pick your cup of tea and we set and start off the day. We all have the program before us. It's going to be a very brief agenda. On behalf of you, we are so excited to have you all in this room as we launch one of our special programs that is supposed to facilitate trade in this country. I would like to request a volunteer to lead us in a word of prayer, and I'm going to request her to come over, Madame Mabel, to bless this session, and after that, we'll proceed with the agenda.
Want to thank you so much for giving us this opportunity to come here and to listen to what has been prepared for us as business people. We pray that you will work through the presenters, and we also give you the program from the beginning to the end, that everything will go according to your plan. We pray for those who are yet to arrive to come and be with us so that we can have a wonderful meeting. We thank you and we honor you. We have prayed all this in God's name. Amen.
Thank you very much for that wonderful prayer. I'll take this opportunity to introduce myself. I know we have guests who may not know me. My name is Connie Kechembo, and I'm the Chief Executive Officer for the Uganda Women Entrepreneurs Association. We welcome you all. Kindly say hello to your neighbor and get to know the name. Good. I have seen some of you who are not actually saying hello. We have some of our friends online. I know it's very hard, but you can inbox and say hello to your neighbor. At least get to know the name and where the person comes from. We thank you and we honor you for coming today. We hope by the end of 2 hours and a half, we have learnt a lot and we have networked. We will have a very short agenda and we will listen to our partners today and the board chair. By the climax of all, we will have a discussion where we expect all of you to interact. I've already been told that we have over 60 people online, listening to us. So we hope this is going to be a very interactive session. And we celebrate one of our core projects for women as we empower them to trade better at all levels. May I request our partner, our donor, our colleagues from Trademark East Africa, Madam Anna, to come and speak to us. Anna is a very special person in this room. They have, Trademark Africa has for a long time facilitated trade across East Africa, and now they've expanded to Africa. I'm going to request Anna to talk a little bit more about herself, but she loves women so much, that's what I can say, and the doors are open each time we approach her. You're welcome, Anna.
Honorable guests here today, we are all honorable to be here. Government representatives, donor representatives, Trademark Africa partners, development partners, local partners, all female entrepreneurs here present, all the gentlemen here supporting the ladies. Good morning to you all. I take this opportunity to welcome you as we celebrate the debut, the unveiling of the iSOKO platform here in Uganda. And I'm saying here in Uganda because we've already launched it in Kenya about a month ago, and in Tanzania we'll follow shortly. So it's a regional platform. The brand iSOKO is a combination of two words. The I is for internet, and SOKO is from a Swahili word, soko, market, sokoni, business, so it's really the same space that we're operating on. So it's really taking the market onto the internet. iSOKO is a creative technology innovation that empowers women to trade digitally. You remember that this year's International Women's Day theme, which we're still celebrating all year round, is Digital All, Innovation and Transformation for Gender Equality. So it's very timely that iSOKO's launch is also falling within the same reign. Trademark Africa has been in existence since 2010. And for those that remember, we were Trademark East Africa until recently in January when we rebranded to Africa. We believe at Trademark that growing prosperity through increased trade will really help transform the lives in Africa. So our mission is to increase intra-Africa trade and also the exports that are going to the rest of the world. Through our work so far, in improving efficiency at the borders, in our digital innovations, in our support for policies and laws in the countries, and also harmonization at the EAC, we have seen tremendous gains for trade and for regional integration within East Africa in terms of decreased cargo time. Anybody who has been to the borders can testify to that, although, of course, there's new things cropping up, and efficiency in how trade has been handled before 2010 and after the time that we came in. But through our studies about the trends in trade, we recognize that women's contribution to trade has remained low due to various non-tariff barriers, such as the lack of information that impacts negatively on their activities. And again, it also goes hand in hand with the fact that women cannot be just traders. A woman is a mother, she's an educator, she's a provider of food. So this all tied in together gives them an unfair competitiveness for their businesses as opposed to the men. So in 2018, Trademark Africa partnered with Global Affairs Canada in a regional program that we called Making Trade Work for Women. Global Affairs Canada, which I'll call GAC, committed about 18 million Canadian dollars to promote increased social and economic empowerment of women traders. The program has about 3 key achievements that it aimed to have, that is to increase the incomes of trade for targeted women traders, to increase women's capacity to participate in trade, and to promote the rights of women in trade and reduce their vulnerability in violence and exploitation. Now, to achieve these targets, Trademark has worked with various partners, and UWIL is one of them, especially in the border areas. We have worked to educate women about simplified trade regimes, which facilitates the small traders to be able to utilize the official border crossings, which are safe, as opposed to the panya routes that they used to use before, because of ignorance. Information is key. So, because of that, and again with the support of the Global Affairs Canada, iSOKO was conceived to address the information gap and to empower women with the tools they need to increase their trade. So importantly, iSOKO has given women a seat at the technology table. It was designed by women traders for women traders. It caters for all segments of women, including the small scale, cross-border traders, urban traders, exporters, and importers. And it provides a mobile application, a USSD, and a web platform to ensure accessibility for all. So today, even before the launch of iSOKO here in Uganda, we have at least 3,700 traders registered across the region, in Uganda, in Kenya, and Tanzania. And this has really been done at the pilot stage. We had user acceptance tests conducted in the country in different districts last year. And the aim, or our target by December 2023, is to have 20,000 women registered onto the platform. However, we do recognize there are still gaps that we need to, to address in order to increase the usability of this platform. The ladies in the urban areas, the traders have it easier because they have internet, they have the phones that enable them to be able to use the platform. However, the ladies that have feature phones and are far away from any connectivity are still missing out on these opportunities. So that is one of the aspects that we hope we can be able to address, of course not alone as Trademark Africa, but in partnership with all the players that are here in government and also the private sector. We also hope to see the financial inclusion through the platform, so that we are through partnerships with financial institutions, so that we can create products for small-scale border traders. Bookkeeping application is available so that traders can be able to monitor their performance and access finance to scale up their businesses. So iSOKO is a scalable solution. It delivers relevant information that the women traders can be able to use. A trader in Uganda can be able to see, where raw material coming in from Kenya at a cheaper price is available. They can be able to source that, and then they can also be able to, on the other side, somebody in Tanzania can be able to see product from Uganda, and they can also be able to source that through using the platform. If a lady cannot go to her physical store that day, wherever her place of trade is, she can still continue business from the comfort of her home while being able to take care of all her other needs just by being on iSOKO platform. You can be able to download the platform, take pictures of your produce, and be able to get in touch with where the demand is and where you need to supply. So it's a good thing that we have iSOKO. So together, we are happy to, play our part in bridging the digital divide, empowering women in trade through innovative solutions like iSOKO. So let's support women, let's support small-scale traders, let's promote inclusive trade and the benefits that it has for everybody. And most importantly, let's use iSOKO. For everybody here, it is *288*7#. I think it's at the back of our programs here. So for everybody who's taking notes, it's right at the back, *288*7#. Thank you very much, and let's use iSOKO.
Can we clap for her one more time? Thank you, Trademark. I think for me, I'm so excited that women no longer have to worry about rent. Our business is just on our phone. We just have to invest in a smartphone, and there we go. The other day, I was dreaming that I'll also be doing business in my bed. I don't need to get out of my bed, and off I go. So kindly, if you're here, make sure you leave this room when you have the app on your phone. I know most of you have smartphones, and let's do it. We also want to appreciate Global Africa Canada, because without their support, Trademark would not have extended support to us as you will. We thank you so much, and we have had testimonies from the members of You Will who have managed to upload and use it. They are actually trading. I was excited recently on Women's Day in Imbara. Ladies are selling matoke on phone. They're no longer waiting to go on the roadside to sell their matoke. So if we can get such solution, that's great for us. I'm going to request the chair of the board to come and welcome us, our partners, our members, as we wait for the guest of honor, the Minister of State, East African Affairs. Thank you, Chair.
Good morning, everybody. It's nice to look in the room and see some men around. I think we need to applaud the gender-sensitive men who have come to be with us this morning. I know that in many cases when they say, oh, there's a women thing, we tend to be women collecting together. But I think now more men are recognizing that if they support their women, it's for the betterment of the entire family. So I just want to encourage you, if your husband is not here, next time bring them along. And bring your young women, your daughters, because at You Will, we are also believing in succession planning. So please bring your children along to such events so that they get to know what is happening, and they can, take over from you when your legs can no longer carry you. Yeah, thank you very much, Connie. I would like to appreciate the presence of the Country Director of Trademark Africa, now Africa, which used to be Trademark East Africa. I would also like to recognize the presence of Ms. Mafosa, who is the Country Director of SNV. They are our major partners. I would like to recognize Ms. Sarah, my friend Sarah, who is the Vice Chair of the PSFU. I would like to recognize the presence of the board members of the You Will who are here, the members of the You Will Advisory Council, the elders of You Will, the founders of You Will, the members of You Will, government officials here. I mean, there are so many of you, so all protocol is what? Is observed. It's a great pleasure for me, on behalf of the You Will Board Advisory Council, the elders and the general membership, to welcome you to the official launch of iSOKO. We all know that there is a high concentration of women in trade. If you want to know and to prove this, just go downtown after this meeting. Then you'll know that so many of us are in trade, not only in the shops, but also at the roadside, in the markets, we are the majority. But we continue to face a lot of challenges. Women and young women face unique challenges in our marketing of our goods. We have limited access to productive resources and financing, which has already been mentioned by the country director. And we are concentrated in low productivity activities. We face sexual harassment and gender-based violence in economic spheres, including in the workplace, in marketplaces, and even for some in our homes. There is a disproportionate share of responsibilities in unpaid care and domestic work. And there are biased social norms that cause mobility and time constraints, leaving them limited time leaving us limited time to spend on economic and trade activities. But we also know that even those that may not be affected by the care economy, because I know most of you have help at home, may have challenges with work-life balance. Because in most cases you find you are the accountant, you are the salesperson, you are the marketing person, you are the you are the everything. So that way your work-life balance can also be affected. Women also have limited knowledge of opportunities in export markets and ways to integrate into regional value chains, limited capacity to produce value-added products and services, to secure the inputs that they need at competitive prices, and challenges relating to compliance with regulatory requirements and safety and quality standards. Worse still, the gender-digital divide continues to be an underlying challenge that limits women's access to information and ability to engage in global trade. I don't think all is dark, because all is not dark and gloom, because opportunities from trade have brought more household resources under the women's control, which positively affects the overall investment in the health and education of members of their households. I'm therefore honored to be here today for the official launch of iSOKO, a Ugandan and East African solution to empower our women to trade. On behalf of UWIL, I extend my gratitude to Trademark Africa and our dedicated teams at UWIL. I also appreciate the support by Global Affairs Canada for this innovative solution that will transform how our women trade. You remember the days, those of you who are old members of UWIL, the days when we used to go and come back with suitcases of things. And, I remember trading, and then you come back and your hand luggage is even heavier than what you have actually checked in. And then when you are checking in, your heart is boop, 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 because you don't know whether they are going to actually allow you. Yeah? I remember there was one time in Thailand where I had to throw some of my luggage into the bin because I was overweight. I mean, it was so disheartening. But now we have overcome that. We don't really need to travel. We can trade online. So UWIL is proud of the progress being made to support women and young women. We, however, know there is more to be done. We recognize the immense challenges that our women face and impede their potential to grow and trade. That is why we are constantly looking for innovations, and finding solutions like iSOKO is an outstanding achievement that will elevate the women in the business of Uganda. iSOKO, as you've heard from the speakers before me, is a digital platform that enables women to trade by providing vital trade and market information. With just a click of a button, our women traders from Gulu can post their products for sale and reach potential buyers in Kampala. Not only that, other potential buyers from Burundi, Tanzania, Rwanda, and Kenya can view the products and contact the traders. From the comfort of their phones, our small-scale cross-border traders from Malaba can access a currency converter that allows them to know how much currency they need to pay for goods and avoid extortion. iSOKO also provides information on trade documents, procedures, and standards to ensure that our women participate in formal and structured trade, therefore enabling them to grow to scale. You know very well that it's going to be impossible for you to grow to scale if you remain informal. You have to participate in structured trade. Additionally, one aspect that complements our capacity building activities on financial access is the bookkeeping. The bookkeeping function that allows women to understand the profitability of their businesses by calculating profit and loss and even managing their inventory. It's very important that our women keep their books, because wherever I go to represent UWIL, whoever I talk to says we have money for women, we have money for women. But are the women ready? 2 days ago, I was speaking to a consortium of investors. They are planning for $38 million specifically for women. And I was saying, but my women, are they going to be ready? Please do not let me down. Let us put our books in order. Let us be ready. Let us be neat with our documentation. Please, if you are making money, do bank. Even if it means banking in the morning and remove it in the afternoon, but put your money somewhere. Because if somebody is going, there is no need for you to come to me and say, you know what, I'm making money. How much money are you making? Oh, I make about $1 million a day. But when I say, please bring your statement from the bank, there's only 20,000. Yeah? So please bank your money so that at least there is a trail of what is happening to your business. I'm quite excited with the young people because I think for them they are getting it. Please, if you are young and your mother is in business, teach your mother or help your mother, because all this money that is coming to us, we have to be ready. We have to be prepared. Otherwise, the money will go back or some men will grab it. Some man will come and lie you, and if you don't understand things, by the time you wake up, the account will be empty. Okay, yeah, so targeted information, like iSOKO can help women maximize the benefits of trade. iSOKO is one way of helping to remove trade barriers that impede women's access to international markets. Because now you don't have to travel everywhere. You don't have to experience some of the sexual harassment and all these things we face when we are on the road will reduce. Because if I'm a woman in Ntungama and I'm selling my matoke, and I don't really have to struggle to go to the lorry, to experience men shouting at me and all this, it is going to be very, very helpful. I was telling the country director, saying, I better start my digital shop soon. So after this, Connie, I'm going to download the... Sometimes as leaders, we give people the access to these things, but then we don't take advantage of it. So I would want to encourage all my leaders here present, board members, elders, advisory council. One of these days I'm going to go around to see whether you have, because then you have to buy from our members who are putting up their products. So we have tested iSOKO with women from Busia, Malabas, you've had Mbarara and Kampala, and with their feedback, of course, there were changes made to it. And in the last year, we have actively registered 1,565 users. The country director talked about 3,700 now which is for the region. And our target is to have 20,000 women entrepreneurs registered in Uganda alone. So if Uganda has 20,000, Kenya 20,000, Tanzania the same, if we are able to even hit, 1 million on this iSOKO platform, I mean, how much trade will be intermediated between us? So please go there and register. And please, when you register, I mean, pay a professional to do your pictures. Because again, some of you put a lasso somewhere and you dump things there and then you take a picture. Really, you know that a lot of what we buy is to do with packaging. There are certain things you'll buy a cream, and when you open it, the cream has like a dot inside there. But sometimes it's the container that first attracts us. So please make sure your shop on iSOKO is well done, it's professionally done, your pictures out. These days, even with iPhones, you can take good pictures. But take good pictures, get some models or to do some of these things so that if I'm looking, at least I'm attracted to what you are selling. Countries are becoming more integrated with global value chains, which tend to create jobs and increase wages for women. Women traders can use iSOKO to access a larger market and expand their business beyond their local communities. Digital technology and new online platforms create opportunities for women to bypass traditional trade barriers, expand their entrepreneurial skills, and develop flexible careers that enable them to manage work and household responsibilities. Sometimes women are taken advantage of because they don't even know the rules. But when you are trading online and this thing will give you all the information, I remember when I used to do trade, and at first I didn't know how the taxes that were being imposed on the textiles that I was bringing. And when I would get to Entebbe, people are asking for what? For bribe. And the process of negotiating, this is something that all of you know that, there are people who are asking us for bribes. And sometimes out of desperation, we pay. But then eventually when I got information and realized the money I'm paying them is actually equivalent to the money that I would pay to government, I took a decision from that day that I'm going to pay what? Taxes on my products. So when I arrive at Entebbe, my heart is not pumping, I'm calm. I go there, I go to the red channel, I declare my goods, I leave them in storage, I go, I get the clearing agent to come and clear them, because I had information. So please, sometimes you are running away from tax people when you're actually not making profit. But because you are not, preparing your accounts, saying you are a, but you are a taxes those who have made profit on their income statement. So please, make sure your books are in order so that you don't have to run away from the tax man. Because if you are not making money, you have your books properly, prepared, nobody's going to ask you for taxes. Do you know that even some of these big guys, they have not paid income tax? So I want to encourage you that it is also good, it's also good for us to contribute to what? To the development of our country and not to be dependent. So let us try to put our books in order. iSOKO, as we launch iSOKO today, I encourage all of us to download and register, which I've already said, and take advantage of its opportunities. Let us work together to promote trade, entrepreneurship, and women's economic empowerment. Digitalization and presence online can actually change our lives. Last week, some of you members were there when we had the impact investment workshop, and there was a testimony from a young entrepreneur who has started an app where our young women who are going to the Middle East, they get insurance, some kind of insurance from them, which is 500,000 annually. And once you register the app, first of all, it will know your location, and it has an SOS. So if you have a problem, you just press that button. It will go directly to your relative who is registered, and it will also go to the app managers. And they will know if you are sick or you're in trouble, and they can come and what? And locate you. And they can also, because of that insurance, if you need to return home, they will buy the ticket and bring you back home. So this is an app which is both a social enterprise, but at the same time, it's making money. I want you to work out. They told us there are about 800,000 women in the Middle East. So if this young man, lady, and group are able to register 100,000 women, young women, who is the great mathematician here? 100,000 multiplied by 500,000. Can somebody give us the answer? Yeah. Yeah? 500 million. So if he's able, this is 500 million, 100,000 girls. Eh? Each is paying 500,000. 100,000 girls. And each is paying 500,000. It is 500 million. Use your calculator. Okay, 50, even if it's 50 million. Billion. 50, when that young person was speaking, I said, what a way to make money. And yet at the same time, you are helping what? At that meeting, those of you who were there were like 10 testimonies of similar enterprises. So do not underestimate the potential for such a product to actually transform your business. There are so many stories. A young girl started a business during COVID, making earrings. And now her turnover is 500,000 pounds just by selling online. So please take this very seriously. And I think we are most grateful to Trademark Africa and to all our partners for what they've done for us. So they will say, you can take somebody to the what? So we have taken you there. It is up to you now to drink. I want to see many more of you thrive. I want a situation, I always tell Connie, I say, I want a situation where if we are calling women, we have many millionaires and billionaires among ourselves. I thank you, and thank you once again for coming to be with us today when we launch this innovation. Thank you.
Did we take breakfast? Let's clap for Chair. Thank you so much, our chairperson. When she was counting the money, I was imagining, what am I doing at UWIL? I need to start counting the same amount of money in my house. You have given me a tip, Madam Chair, so just expect my resignation. I go and make money. Yes, of course. Thank you so much once again, and I would like to appreciate our development partners here in the room, Care Uganda. Thank you for joining us. We have the ED Ugaford. Thank you for joining us this morning. We have the Deputy Executive Director, UNBS. Thank you for joining us. We have the Country Director, UNSC, Madame Rose. Thank you for joining us. We thank you all once again. This is very, very critical. I know in many meetings we've been attending on behalf of UWIL, partners keep asking us, how are you going to reach this woman? And it's a puzzle. We are going to answer it, and you can go and enroll and encourage our distinguished panelists to come and share with us. And I'm going to start by inviting Sarah Kajingo, who is the Vice Chairperson of the Private Sector Foundation. Sarah is also a founder and a CEO of a Soft Power Communication Limited. It's a digital platform, it's a communication platform, and we believe in this engagement today will benefit from her discussion, from her wisdom, from her experience. We welcome you, Sarah. We also request the representative from the Uganda Communication Commission, Mr. Kenneth. UWIL is not just women, by the way. We also have men who are part of us. We thank you, Kenneth. We want to hear how private sector is ready to transform this digital innovation to all our SMEs. We are very hopeful that all the women should get this innovation. So we'll hear from her, and we'll learn from what she will really tell us in terms of the plans they have for us. We'll also like to request the user. I don't know where my team is. One of the members of UWIL who has been able to upload this app and has been able to get contacted. She's already selling things here. If you can join us from Road Rest Coffee to share with us what you envisage to get out of this app now that you already have it and you're already getting orders, to come and share with us your experience. Okay? So we are going to start as she comes, as Cynthia comes to join us. We are going to start with Sarah. And Sarah, we would like you to share with us, in your opinion and in your experience as a businesswoman. I'm aware that you've been doing a lot of business. And of course, being a chairperson of the Apex Body of Private Sector Foundation, your role in digital solutions. How can the young people and the entrepreneurs use information, especially in terms of this app, in this age, to transform their businesses? Just know people in this room and those online are eager to hear your personal experience as an expert in communication and using such innovation. Over to you.
Thank you, Connie. Morning, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I'll start with my experience. In 2014,
I lost my job. But I had a skill. I'm a good writer, formerly a scientist who moved into the arts. I tell good stories. If I told a story about your brand, everybody would go, wow, this is a product I must buy. So I now, I was a little worried. How do I start? So I decided to make business sense of my skill and registered Soft Power Communications. I had so many worries. How am I going to pay rent? How am I going to pay my staff? So, and because I come from a perspective of advancing Uganda's positive narrative, our first story on Soft Power Communications was about travel, and another about a woman in fintech, and we got 0 views for that week. But in my previous job, I had been tweeting, I had a Facebook page, but I also know from a communication perspective that while I must grow my brand online, my personal brand, it must be distinguished from the brand of my product. So I said, no, let me start retweeting these stories to my own following. And today, I am so proud that when I move into a room, everybody is asking me, how is Soft Power? How is Soft Power Communications? But now, this now brings me to what women and every young person should do to grow their brand online. One, you must be authentic. We've grown to this age, to this level, because we are authentic. Our stories are believable. We are credible. So everybody will, private sector foundation, every partner in trade, in business would like to be, to appear on Soft Power. So there are many opportunities online. I rely on Instagram, for example, for fashion. The challenge is that sometimes you order for something and the quality is different. But in PSFU, we have partnered with MasterCard Foundation and other partners, and we have enabled over 1,200 SMEs to standardize, to earn certification. Because with this borderless iSOKO, the next thing should be that our products are what? Quality products. So that is very, very important. Thank you.
Wow, thank you, Sarah. I know issues of quality and standards and women entrepreneurs or women traders is another discussion. And I'm happy in this room, there's somebody responsible whom I'm going to ask to talk to us later. Thank you. We will have a moment to ask panelists a few questions and have an interaction with them. At this point, I'm going to request the next panelist also to share with us. Then we'll have some bit of dialogue later on. I'm going to request Kenneth to share with us, as a commission and a government entity, what are the policies that are in place to support and accelerate this kind of innovation. It's so exciting that we have the innovation, iSOKO is in place now, women are trading, but we don't know the boundaries. We may be caught by the current policies in place, and we are dragged, like I see some women the other day who are dragged to CPS. I hope you will members and the women traders won't get to that level. Kenneth, please enlighten on us on the plans and the policies that are in place for us to be comfortable. Over to you.
Thank you, moderator. Good morning, everyone. I bring warm greetings from the Uganda Communications Commission, and please, before I start, allow me to convey apologies from my executive director, Engineer Irene Kagwa Sewankambo. She very much wanted to be here, however, she had prior very equally important engagements at which she needed to officiate, so I had to come in her place. Now, if I may, maybe in this room we have people that are hearing about the Uganda Communications Commission for the first time. So briefly allow me just 30 seconds to indicate to members here that the Uganda Communications Commission is the regulator of communication services in Uganda. And that includes telecoms, radios, TVs, ICTs, infrastructure, these things which you see people digging everywhere, putting cables under the ground, innovations, apps, etc. Now, UCC, besides regulating, because you see you cannot regulate something that does not exist. So you want to encourage the growth of something as you regulate it. Now, we are also mindful that Uganda is one of the most entrepreneurial countries, but the entrepreneurial vibrancy has not, this vibrancy has really not been seen within the space of ICT innovations and applications. And what this has done, it has really widened the connectivity gap, noting that most of the people, especially people that are up-country, are what we call underserved and unserved. As you may know, according to the UBO statistics, about 25% of people live in the urban areas. So the majority of us, almost 75%, are in the rural communities. Now, how do you bring those 75% people in Bukomansimbi, in Bosembatia, in Aleptong, how do you bring them to use iSOKO and any other platforms that some of you may be aware of? So what UCC then is doing is, we have a department called, previously it was called Uganda Rural Communications Development Fund, but now it's a Universal Access Fund department, which is helping fund, support, mentor people that have viable and really brilliant innovations that would help bridge this connectivity gap, improve inclusivity, and grow the country's economy as a whole. And we have supported many people, because you see, we couldn't have iSOKO here and maybe 100,000 people within Kampala, Wakisa, and a few may use it. But the biggest challenge that I think we are now having is the uptake and the demand for these services. There are people that have their products in all these areas I've talked about, but they don't have the smartphones that our board chair talked about, the iPhones. What they have are the feature phones. Some of them, in some of the areas, they don't even have the 4G that is required to upload these images. They are using what we call the feature phones, the capabilities. Now, what UCC is doing, first of all, we are requiring all telecom companies to at least cover 90% of the country, so that we can have at least speeds of 3G up country, and within Kampala, Wakiso, Mukono, Jinja, Greater Kampala, to have what we call the 4G network. That's why people are knocking on your doors, telling you there is this internet speed that runs like, of course the challenge is that most of you have still not taken it up, but it's now there. And up country, in most of the places, the internet connectivity is there. Now, what we are working on is the price of the gadgets. We're already partnering with telecom companies to allow people pay in installments, have cheaper gadgets, and people are able to pay, let me say, over a period of 1 or 2 years, so that even that woman that you want to target that is in, I don't know where, that can access, get this phone and access the services. So UCC, in a nutshell, is very supportive of these innovations, and we have already supported very many skills trainings. Sadly, I've not seen someone from FSME here, but we have been partnering with the Federation of Small and Medium Enterprises to train different categories of people, the women, the youth, the persons with special needs, because we need each other if we are ready to grow as a country. So really, UCC is supportive of this initiative, and I was talking to Madame Connie here before we came for the panel discussion, that one of these days she should pass by and meet our CEO of a courtesy call. I'm sure there is some funding for such brilliant innovations. Thank you.
Can we clap again? That was very, very, very critical for me to know. Thank you, Kenneth, and the good news, of course, I will come. And I don't need tea, I just need that package. Isn't it? Women leaders. business women. Don't we need that package? I will definitely come, and thank you so much for that, but I'm comfortable that you are ready to support us. I'm now going to request Angela to briefly share with us how iSOKO will transform an SME. You know, we have set up this platform for every woman, for every woman trader, and therefore we want to see how we can evolve. How can they embrace digital solution? And I know you agree in that area, but for SME specifically, over to you.
Thank you, Connie. Now, ICT the uptake has really been slow, not only nationally, but I think in Africa as a region. And one of the things we need to really get over is our fear of technology. If we look at individuals, many of us have not embraced things that make us move faster. You spend a whole morning washing, yet you can save that time marketing your product or designing something to make your product look better by having a washing machine. But I'm only talking to the percentage in the urban. iSOKO takes us to the rural areas, and we need to now see how to merge and bring them on board, but also remove not only the cost as he had mentioned, but also to remove the other challenges of the fear and the mindset. As we sit in this room, when he mentioned, my colleague here mentioned many of us are still on 3G. It's true. If you check many of your phones, many haven't crossed over to 4G. So you're not even moving fast enough when you're the elite in the room. So our emphasis is not yet on ICT, but let's look at ICT in a home first. A slow cooker makes your work easier, but we still use sigiri. We are still going against the green economy by using firewood. We are averse to electricity bills, but we are using Yaka, which is ICT, or other technologies. You hire somebody to guard your gate as security. An alarm bell would do the work because you don't get 1,000 guests a day for somebody to be paid to open on a daily, right? So during the day, an alarm, a screen would do the work for you. Then as you look at all the other gadgets that we use, medically, blood pressure, measuring diabetes, etc. People have these gadgets in their bags. So we are there, but we are not yet mentally accepting that we are using ICT on a daily. So when it comes to business, while we are still raw on an individual basis, one-on-one, we are also raw business-wise. Business is divided into segments. You have marketing, you have the financials, you have operations. You have to be agile in all these areas. SMEs are failing to keep records, but a simple app to be able to say, I bought this, I sold this, gives you your records. And then you're able to know what your profit is or your loss is, without any knowledge of accounting. So ICT has made us gurus where we would have needed to go to 8 years of school. And in a flash, someone explains it to you well, you're able to do your P&L as a personal account and also as a business account. There's absolutely no way we are going to say it's difficult. When mobile phones first came in, I remember my grandmother, very intelligent woman, but she was not taught to read and write. But at her age, she learned how to use the phone for the basics, to call. She had learned her numbers. It's not impossible for anyone to learn what ICT is about. You must have the interest. 3/4 of us are carrying apps on our phones that we never open. And then you have a video game you stay on for about 6 months, as opposed to using your phone to make your life easier. So we need real-time usage of this as SMEs. Use iSOKO 1 for marketing. Reaching out to people who are going to give you good quality products, and their reach is right from the source. If you want organic, Uganda has organic, but organic is not in Kampala. Reach out to the people buying or selling straight from the farm, right? because in between the middlemen will spray it with some pesticides or anti-ripening sprays, and you will now have a contaminated good that left the source when it was okay. If you're buying fish, go on the app. If you're buying fresh vegetables, get in bulk. Pull together as you will women and say, we need this delivered every Thursday or every Friday, so that you can take advantage of the costs. Use the app then to see, how am I spending? What is my trend? Because the technology helps you to even analyze, when was I on a high peak purchase or spending spree, or when was I spending at a low, much lower than I should. Once you overcome it and it becomes a part of you, you will then find your life is easier, you have more time for fun and games and other, other hobbies. Now, the challenge with our mindset is that after this, we start with excitement. So we are going to live here, have the app, look at it for a week. 3 weeks later, we've forgotten about the app. And yet, the app is an organic thing. For iSOKO, the platform to work, we have to grow the numbers so that we are trading with power. We cannot trade with power if we are on today and then for the rest of the year we are off. The other thing I want to talk about for businesses, don't be ashamed of your business. Many of us open businesses and then we are shy to talk about it in some circles. How will people know I sell fish? And yet people need the fish. So let's get over the embarrassment of what we do. Those who are dealing in shoes, deal in shoes. If you're in cosmetics, deal in cosmetics. Embrace the social networks. Most of the youth today are trading vibrantly on Instagram. Most. We who are in the service industry, speaking and so on, we are more into LinkedIn, Twitter, and others. Know your segment. Know your customer persona. Who am I targeting? A 26-year-old who has no time to look for the product, or a 45-year-old who wants to come and see many items? Then present them. Present them well. SMEs have to grow, but we are the ones who grow them. And we have to embrace e-commerce and take it on at a level that higher than we've ever done before. Don't do it today and then 3 months later you're giving up and now you're moving from cosmetics and now you're going to vegetables. You can't keep teetering in business. You have to stand in there and ensure that it grows. The ICT, the technologies help you to trace where you gave up, where you're almost giving up, where you were doing well, and you start knowing the seasons. When is it a good time for me to deal in this particular aspect of the platform? So digital solutions are important. You need to know which ones you must have in your home. You need to know the sources of your products. Encourage those who don't have smartphones, or even purchase for your good suppliers if they don't have, because they make your pocket, you earn more if you now have your standard, authentic suppliers. There's a lot we can talk about this subject, but thank you, Connie, for now.
Thank you, Angela. Who has those smartphones that she's talking about? I don't even know what I'm using. I need to learn first. But we are getting there, and I'm one of those who's ready to learn. We are going to request one of our members, a user, and actually a new member who got excited about UWIL work, and she's on it already. Cynthia, kindly share with us your experience.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. So for our part, my name is Cynthia. I'm from Red Tourist Limited. We are a group of 900 farmers that grow coffee and process it up to the very last value chain. So last year, we met Connie in Fort Portal. She came and she looked at us and she's like, hey, I like what you people are doing. And our biggest challenge was, as ladies, you know how village people will be. You're basically just coffee, you don't even have much to eat, and you're not adding so much to the thing, yeah? So when we got there, she told us about UWIL, and she's like, there is this group of women. They have businesses, and you don't have to do something much to actually own your business. So she told us, by the way, there are people who can even just sell shoes. They are doing candles. And we were really so surprised, you know. So we got so interested, and we talked to our ladies, and we came up, we got a cooperative, we registered, we got into, so that's how Red Trust came about. And so these other ladies, the organization gives them a competitive price, yeah, which helps them to earn more money. And we went ahead to encourage these ladies to do other businesses. We have people that do jewelry, we have people that do wines, we have people that do bags, you know. And these are things that are helping one person, another person to earn more than just the coffee farm that they have. So with this, when they introduced us to the iSOKO app, it helped us to understand that, you know, we are extremely excited that a person that will do jewelry in Fort Portal can be able to sell to a person that is in Kampala, a person that is in Gulu, and it is extremely an exciting opportunity for us that we are looking forward to. So we hope that we want to go into fruit making, growing, and then we go ahead and dry them and sell them, and we know that this iSOKO app is going to help us to reach even to the international market. So yeah, we are so excited. Thank you for the opportunity, Connie.
Thank you so much. What I can say about her team, you know, coffee is seasonal. So during that time, sometimes women become desperate, and there are 900 women together selling their coffee and stuck with it. So the opportunity for iSOKO to market it was another exciting. She's just told us that they've got their first order on iSOKO. So for us, that is a big achievement. If we can reach out to the rural women who are, and actually not all of them have smartphones. She's probably one or two of them have smartphones in the 900 women. So we are trying to see how do we get to such groups and they benefit from this platform. I'm going to open up for discussion. One or two of you could have a question from the panelists from what they've shared with us. The team, I request you, if you have a microphone, to pass it around. I'm going to pick 3 people if you have any question so far from what they've shared and how it relates to the app that we are launching today. I show, please. There's one there. Can I have a microphone pass around, please? Okay. Kindly introduce yourself and where you come from, and then the question to the panel, a particular person you're requesting to respond to the question on the panel.
All right, thank you very much. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning to you.
My name is Joanne Katushabe from Finance Trust Bank. I'm the marketing manager. My question is addressed to Angela. Products being in our homes and they're supposed to be transported to the buyer need a transport mechanism. Speaking to the available services or the gaps in transport, because taking coffee from Fort Portal to wherever needs a reliable transport service. I see an opportunity there, but also there could be existing resources that buyers and sellers need to take advantage of to be able to get the product from the vendor to the consumer. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Joanne. Can we have another question? There is, kindly move the microphone this side. Please introduce yourself and tell us the person you're directing the question to.
My name is Singir Wabogo. I'm a board member on East African Business Council, and I work with Mkwano Group of Industries. So you all know Mukwano, and Mukwano is a household name. First of all, we deal in agribusiness. We're in the north, and we do sunflower and soybean. And out of 175 farmers we have, I think about 100,000 are women. We work closely with PSFU under MasterCard, and they're helping in putting these farmers on apps like you're talking about. My request was that if you could even reach these farmers in the north. They are really organized. I think Sarah Kajingo can give you the numbers. You can equally hit those numbers of 1 million that you are looking at, and this country of ours can be out of poverty. I won't talk much as East African Business Council because PSFU really goes in for business and advocacy for trade, and that's what we do at the East African community in general. So I'm very grateful for you have extended our invite to East African Business Council. I expected my fellow directors to be here. I don't know if they're in, but we're excited, and we'll also promote as we promote our other advocacy roles for this country. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Chairperson, the women are in the north. Okay, can we pick another person, please? The microphone.
Good morning. I am Sauda Mayanja. I am one of the ladies of UWEL, and I am a vendor here today. I manufacture scented candles and sprays and diffusers, very nice smelling things. Please check them out there. I've got a stall. I would like to perhaps build on to the question of the lady from the bank. I'm sorry, I didn't take your name. Because I think most of us, we've all got the same problem, which is the, as the Muzungu says, the last mile, how to reach the last, your client. I wonder if you have considered partnering with the media houses, because you'll find the Monitor Group or the New Vision or whatever, because every morning they've got to get their newspaper out to Chenjojo, Hoima, Masindi, wherever, all right, Gulu, what have you. So have we considered actually partnering with them, because we are assured that they will be in those areas, right? So could we, I wonder if they've got, actually I do think they've got a courier services, they've got courier services. Have we considered partnering with them to assist us, I suppose, take our goods, take my candles, if I've sold them to Masindi, and then bring me back a, I don't know, a bag of maize or something, right? Thank you.
Thank you so much. There are 2 hands, and then we come back to the panel. The 2 ladies over there. We'll have a last round.
Good morning. My name is Agnes Mbabazi. I work for an organization called AgriFarm Uganda, and we are in the agriculture space, specifically agricultural inputs. So we import and distribute to farmers, and we all know how deep the farmers are located. So my concern is not so different from her. We've partnered with a number of platforms, including the common ones like Isa Greek, Farmnera, and so on. The challenge still comes to getting our products to the farmers. There's this, I think there was this model of the village agent model where we used to work with particular agents that we dispatch our products to them, of course very expensively, and it became so expensive for the farmer to afford. If I'm selling a liter of glyphosate here at 12,000 shillings, and then I add 1,000 shillings to Gulu, and then I add another 500 shillings to Kitgum, to Lamo, to Parabek, and so on and so forth. By the time the farmer gets this product, it's actually double the price. And this for us has been a very big hindrance. And even with the partners we are working with, we are failing to break through. Even right now, we have one we are working with, and the challenge still comes about. The farmer is looking for quality, genuine products, okay, and they can't get them in the places where they are located, but we still can't get to them. So my call to Will, I'm not a member of Will. I was invited, but I hope I will join because I feel the vibe. But as you're working with Will and MasterCard Foundation, and we are working with MasterCard Foundation through other partners, how can we work together to ensure that the farmer that is sitting down in Lamo is able to access our products at a reasonably good price and on time, given the fact that when we are in the season, the rains have a very short space, and we must get to the farmer at the end of the day. So how can we partner together and ensure that things work out for the better of the farmers, and especially the women that do not have a lot of capital to be able to stock for longer periods? Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Kindly be brief in your question so that we can allow the panelists to respond.
Morning, everyone. Nakayenga Regina, the founder and MD of Rena Beverage Solutions. We do hibiscus, rosemary, okra, and impirivuma. Thank you very much, panelists. Madam Susan, the issue of content development is very critical. How do you help us to improve on that? Then Angela, market segmentation is really a big challenge, and sometimes we misfire. How do we improve on that? Give us some hints. However, generally we have an issue of mindset change so that people who want to use the app also understand that they can buy. And how do we really increase our commitment? People who have that experience. Finally, I have benefited from the app or from use of ICT, but I'm not yet doing well with my target in export markets. So how do we access market information more easily in the domestic and the export markets? Thanks. And these are my products. The tea bag.
Thank you, Regina. It's good to know that the app is already providing a solution and you're using it. As we continue the discussion, kindly, behind your program, there is a barcode. I want to see people actually downloading it to your phones. If you don't have the app, at least leave this room with the app. I'm going to give 2 minutes to each of the panelists if you have any response to the questions that have been asked. And I'll start with Sarah.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. On exports, as a private sector foundation Uganda, we've been, for the most of last year, we've partnered with the government of the Republic of Uganda on integration of markets. And so we have held several business summits around the region and elsewhere in the world. But whenever we are leaving these summits and we have several women who attend these summits, the question to my mind is always, they have made contacts, but now how do we take this further? How do they have a conclusive deal with all these transport barriers? But the beauty with technology is that for every challenge provides an opportunity for a creative solution, for an innovation. And I'm a member of and we have our little WhatsApp group of several members. Our chair lady, Sarah Chitakule, is there, our board members, and so many women. So many times we don't have to look elsewhere for products that are provided by women. But what we are going to have to do, Chair Lady Sarah, and in partnership with Trademark, is to engage women in technology to come up with an innovative solution, but in partnership with logistics. And we are happy that logistics is one of the sectors that's a member of Private Sector Foundation, because, you know, even now, safe border is reliable. But I mean, what is it we can do? Say a woman is in Gulu, there is another in the village, is there a way we can, for example, decide that if orders are made on Monday, we can pool resources and that there is transport to take these products to Kampala on a certain day? But this is work in progress. We will discuss that. My parting shots, branding and branding. Please dazzle us with your beautiful artwork. There are many young people, our sons, our daughters, who are good at graphics design. Our chair lady Sarah has told you, please have a beautiful photo on this app. Package your products very well, but do not just dazzle us with the beauty of your infographics. The quality must be up to the game, and we will be able as women to build online brands that may grow as renowned ones in Africa. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. And Kenneth, please, 2 minutes, and we allow the audience to ask for one more last round.
Thank you, moderator. From what I can see from the questions that have come in, I'm seeing Joanne and Sauda and Agnes, Regina, all of them are talking about fulfillment, logistics, how do the goods get to the last person, the last mile delivery. Now, among the things UCC regulates is courier companies and post and courier. These EMSs, DHLs, and others. SafeBoard also now has a license to do courier services. I think what needs to be done is partnering with some of these courier companies to see that they deliver the goods to the final person. Now, we are aware of the challenge. You see, Uganda has, and most African countries have a unique challenge of the lack of a national addressing system that goods are going to be delivered or goods are going to be picked, but then you have to talk to that border guy and tell him that, you see, when you get to this place, find the big mango tree, and then just besides the border stage, slope 100 yards, and then turn left or right. So that is the challenge. Now, UCC is currently partnering with the Ministry of Works and Ministry of Lands and Housing and Urban Development to develop a national addressing system so that goods can reach you, or anyone can reach you, by just knowing your postcode or your digits. I should be able to put it in the computer, or rather my phone, or Google Maps, and I should come directly to your house, you know, which we are currently lacking. So we are already partnering to have that. But courier companies, maybe if I may be allowed latitude of about 30 seconds, I am aware of another innovation that is coming up called the National E-Commerce Platform. And in there, they are partnering with, of course, PSFU is part of it, but then we are partnering with Posta Uganda to help us do the fulfillment and logistics. Now, notwithstanding its challenges, Posta Uganda has offices in almost all districts in this country. And the actuators are no longer moving as they used to move, but the facilities are still there. Now, what we want to do is to turn them into digital centers so that that woman in Kagarama, in Rukunjiri or Aleptong can just go to a post office, access a computer there, be able to market their goods, access e-services, government e-services, or other e-services, pay taxes. There should be 5, 7, 10 computers that are powered, high-speed internet, and they can access free of charge. And we are also exploring mechanisms of seeing whether some of these Uganda Post Limited services can act as fulfillment centers in the meantime as we wait for the national addressing system, addressing system for housing, so that someone can go to a post office in their area, take their sack of maize, put it there, and then this person will be told, you pick it from the post office in Mbali or something like that. Thank you.
Kenneth, Angela, please make it short.
Okay, thank you, Connie. Before I go into answering my question, I wanted to help the members in the room understand that UWIL is a founding member of Private Sector Foundation Uganda. That's why you hear private sector foundation coming out in a lot of our conversation, we have really been engaged on the women front, and we represent all women, not only women in UWIL, but all business women or entrepreneurs in Uganda. So that makes us have a really front position when it comes to negotiation. So I just thought I'd mention that. Now regarding the questions, I think once you have the decision makers in the room, it's good to ask, and ask clearly. So I'll go back to Trademark. Trademark has had several platforms, including a logistics platform. And Trademark has partnered with EABC, East African Women in Business Platform, UWIL, and I think there's credibility in knowing that once you've had successful partnerships, we can now go into the logistics space. Because what we need for transportation is they called it cold cars and cold trucks. You also need delivery on time, and our challenge is most development partners have not engaged in heavy infrastructure, physical infrastructure. We don't have holding spaces in the rural areas where somebody can get their fruit and so on and have it delivered without it ripening. So this is a space UWIL is willing to get into. Madam Chair is sitting right next to the ED. We can really come up with a partnership where our chapters can actually congregate within regions or districts where they can bring their goods, and we can make access easier. That's just the beginning of a proposal, but I think it will help us to become practical on logistics. For Regina, on the market segmentation, market segmentation is quite a big area of understanding, and I will task Connie to ensure that on the iSOKO platform, we as the consultants in UWIL are willing to come and talk about marketing at a time and convenience of the members. We're offering our services. Regarding the free trade zones, which Sarah had alluded to, Private Sector Foundation always invites members to attend the business summits. And on the visit to Dubai, they met within the free trade zones where Ugandans are now transporting goods directly. There are 5 flights a day, 5 flights a week, where you can take your produce directly to these free trade zones. So to be able to get engaged, you must also get to where the information is. And don't shy away from going for these summits, because you make the kind of entry point that you wouldn't if you sat in your business and stayed away from what is going on. For Joanne's question, I think we need to increase on the number of women's katale, the women's markets, which really showcase what people have. Women are doing a fantastic job. The products are good quality, and what we now need to do is increase the footprint. We also need to open the women's catales in areas that are visible. Block of Kampala Road where people are walking and get footprint. You understand? Let's not put it in places that are inaccessible, so that the visibility can increase the sales. Thank you.
I'm going to request my colleague to answer the question of logistics from Trademark Africa. Please.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Agnes Madenge, and I'm Program Manager for Women in Trade at Trademark East Africa, and we've been working closely with our partners at UWIL to develop iSOKO. So it's just a pleasure to see you all celebrate with us. It's been a long time of working with women, doing a solution for them that responds to them, and we're glad to present it to you. So a question that's recurrent is on the logistics service providers. And of course, when we were developing iSOKO, we went around all the East African countries trying to figure out what are the challenges that women face. And logistics keeps coming up. We have the product, how do we get it to the consumers? So on the application, one of the tabs at the end is on services. And our call is to ask, if you are a logistics service provider, please register on iSOKO. Because if I would like to have goods delivered to me, if I'm buying, I can order a service provider to deliver, even with a quotation probably. I know from point A to B, this is how much it would cost. So I have a rough estimate of how much it would be. So that's part of what the solution offers. We are calling also not only on people who are in products, but also service providers like that. We also have a module where if you're in the service industry, and you offer things like catering, for example, you can also list your services there as well, so that people can know and they can come to you. We are trying as much as possible in this one solution to address all the challenges that we face. So have a look at that aspect. There's logistics. If you are a provider here and you're hearing all these women talking about, I would like to move my goods from point A to point B, how do I do it? Sign up on iSOKO. And if you are looking for those services as a woman and you're trying to find someone who's trusted, because we're working with UWIL, the people who are there will also give you that service. So I hope that also answers part of what we're doing. And also to the gentleman who was speaking, as Trademark, we're also trying to work with the posters in different places, like in Kenya, in Rwanda as well, in East Africa, to see how do we do that better. Because you have the infrastructure, how do we partner to make sure that the last mile aspect is addressed. Thank you.
Thank you, Agnes. We have provided for, of course, logistics on our app, like she has said, and we have some members of UWIL actually who are offering that service. And management has also discussed to safe border. Of course, it's work in progress to see that the goods of our women can move from one point to the next point. We have a question online, and I'm going to ask maybe Sarah Kajingo to respond to it. I just wanted to be fair that we had people online. The question comes from Rachel, and she's asking, I'm in service industry, I train in soft skills and also organize corporate events. How will this app help me in the service industry? Maybe you can briefly respond to Rachel, who is on call.
Hi, Rachel. The iSOKO app provides for service providers. So please download the app. Simply dial *288*7#. Thank you.
Okay, but just to add, even in the service industry can benefit from this app. You just need to tell your story, download the story, and people will look for you. And you tell us what you're doing. If you're doing events, you have your contact there, definitely we'll look for you, and you offer us the service. Because we have seen many ladies who are doing cross-border trade being sorted out because the information is on the app, and they're able to trade very well. We want to do the last round, and I'm going to start with chairperson, but can I see how many people have questions? Because we're going to stop with this last round. And I want to encourage the men. Who is helping me with the microphone? Okay, the men. But before you go there, let's first hear from chairperson. She also has some comments, and then we go around. This is the last round, and we go into the formal launching. Over to you, Chair, please.
Hello, thank you very much, panelists, for your interventions. Maybe quickly also to respond to Rachel. You just need to upload your products. Make sure you have recommendations, you have reviews. When you see all these reviews, this is something also aimed at getting more customers to you. So if you provide a service or deliver goods, get people to review what you've done, to give you recommendations. There's the stars that you keep seeing. Because when I buy something online, the first thing I look at the reviews. If majority are negative reviews, I tend to shy away from that provider. So just do that. I also wanted to respond to some of the questions. Somebody from AgriFarm. I think we need to learn also from other people, the mukwanos of this world as women. These people, they have agents in all these areas. That is the way you're going to get your products quickly to the farmers or to the people that need to use them. Sometimes women, we tend to be located in one place and we don't seem to trust other people. But I think we need to learn to have shared services. Look at what agency banking has done. This is the same kind of thing that we need to look at. If you are 10 of you who are selling tea, and you want your tea to go up to Busia, find a member who is in that area, who is actually going to stock your products, so that the products can easily get to the end user. I think the other thing I want to encourage you as members, please work together. Learn to work together. You heard about her story of the 900 women. It's going to be very difficult for you to break into the export market when we have 100 brands of shea butter products. Somebody is doing well, another one, when you look at their branding, is not good. And when you see what the West Africans have done, who have even a worse shea nut than us, they process up to a point, they bulk sell, and then somebody brands, sells it under one brand. But we are all branding, and then we are all complaining that we have no what? No market. It's the same thing even with honey. In Uganda, how many people are packing? I mean, you go to the supermarket. How many people are packing honey? Those of you who have Netflix, you go and watch Rotten. There's a program called Rotten. You will be shocked what is happening in the international market. Nobody is exporting honey, branded honey in small bottles. Rarely, except people who have a unique honey. Most of the honey is going in bulk containers. And then when it gets to the market, they know how to blend it in order to fulfill the need of the what? Of the end buyer. So if Uganda is going to break into the honey market, we need to learn to work together. Otherwise, you will sit, sometimes I go to these shows and I see my women, they are sitting there, their hands are like this, and I say, we haven't sold anything, what is the use of this thing? But what is it that we are trying to do? Sometimes it's better you bulk, you own a small thing of a big thing, rather than a big thing of a small thing. That is what we should learn. A member came to me yesterday, they have 200 acres of land. They want to do something. I said, you are not going to have the money. We have so many people in UWIL. We even have so many women, professional women, whom I call sidepreneurs. They are seated in offices, they have money. If we got together, those of us who know to do the legwork, we'll put on our boots. Those who have the money, they give it to us, we invest it. That is the only way we are going to do business as women, better together. Our Kenyan friends are better than us. They have, they have built schools, they have built shopping centers, they have built apartments because they are working together. But for us, we tend to shy away from that. The other thing, as I'm sitting next to the money lady, and there is my, favorite speaker of the day. We need to build the capacity of our women. Because as much as we know we want to use these platforms, the skill set of our women is lacking. If I'm going to use all these apps, and I'm going to market my things on Instagram, and I'm going to market my thing, I'm going to be tweeting about my products, I need to have the skill. So most of us do not have that skill. We have to build the skill. We have to know what competences we lack, and then build the capacity of the women to actually utilize this. This is being done in other countries. So I think, even as iSOKO is there, if we do not have the skills to use iSOKO, like you are saying, we are going to live here, we're excited, we've had some good stories. It happens. I've been around the women movement for years. We all go to these workshops. We come back and, we are going to form a bank. 30 years later, we are still asking for the Women's Bank. The Women's Bank we have, Finance Trust, is looking for money. So we need to put these things in writing. I mean, to be practical. Lastly, there are a lot of free courses online. If you go to Google, there are so many Google courses that will build your capacity. Members of UWIL, they are always calling you. Please come and learn this, come and learn this. People don't turn up, they don't sign up, and then next they're asking, by the way, what do I do with UNBS? What do I do? Training has taken place. So please, when they call you to this capacity building, take time off your business. It is better you work on your business than in your what? Business. Rosemary is here. Where are you? That is a mantra. Work on your business, not in your what? In your business. Then you'll have more free time because you would have built systems and procedures. But many of us think it is better to be in the business. Instead of going to build your capacity to run and grow your business so that you can be larger businesses. Those of you who have products that you can distribute up country, I think we can work out a system, and there are some good people there who can be agents of our products within you. So you know that if you are selling hibiscus tea, you are selling, I saw somebody who is selling a dried fene. Yeah? You know, there are a number of those nice things that you can have an agent in the north, in the south, where all our products are what? Are being sold, and people can easily access them. So I just want to encourage you that let us not download the app and then not go back to the what? To the app. We need to download it, utilize it, and teach ourselves the skills to maximize this app. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Chair. Start from that corner and kindly 2 minutes each of you, because we are getting into, I'm feeling the vibe like someone said. We want to launch this iSOKO product.
Yes, thank you so much. My name is Loritz Nyonjera. I work with the Uganda Free Zones Authority, a government agency under Ministry of Finance that creates opportunities for export-oriented investment. First and foremost, I want to thank UWIL and Trademark Africa for launching this platform, which we believe that it's going to ease trade, reduce on the cost of doing business, and most probably contribute to promotion of exports in this country. My question is to UWIL and Trademark Africa. I wanted to know if you have plans of extending this platform beyond East Africa, because we believe that most probably our women will fetch more money if they export their products beyond East Africa. If they can export directly to EU, US, South Africa, we know that this is going to help us reduce on the trade deficit that we have as a country, given the fact that we are importing more and exporting less. So, do you have any plans of extending it beyond East Africa? Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'll answer that very quickly. Yes, it is an East African platform. So, next.
Thank you.
And Africa, of course, now that Trademark Africa has expanded to, but initially it was at East African level.
Yeah, thank you. Ivan Sanya from UMA. My question is to the regulator. What protection do we have for these local solutions that we are making? Because now that we have iSOKO, we have a national e-commerce platform that's coming up. Do you have any arrangement to protect them? Because what we know is that international multinational companies are coming, like Amazon and eBay. They really want to get in our market. iSOKO does all the groundwork, organizes all this infrastructure, and then Amazon will come here after we've done all this work and take all this platform, take advantage of them, and then we see our local solutions not benefiting. The next question is there any cost to signing up, to opening a shop on iSOKO, or do I just get on, download the app, get on and start selling immediately? Which is really twofold, is on the control, and I'm really glad that panelist Sarah has drummed the item of quality a lot, because if we do not have control on the sign up and selling, then everyone is going to get on the platform and start selling. My own experience on the local solutions that we have, the local platforms that we have, the Jumias, is that when you get on the platform and there's no control on quality, you really get ripped off a lot. People sell whatever they want, you get the product and it's not what was described on the market. Thank you.
2 minutes, please.
Thank you. My name is Merechina Tsukunda. I work with Care International, and Care, we are working with the will in growing women in business. My first question, which comes also in form of a comment, is to Mr. Seguya.
We can't hear very well. Okay.
My first question is to Mr. Seguya from UCC. We know, and there's enough literature on this, that mostly the digital gender divide won't be sorted unless women have access to phones. And here you've talked about good capabilities that you are putting in place, the 4Gs, the smartphones, and we've seen all the networking we are doing. How ready are you to support women in business to access phones, either in groups or even individuals? And this one can be done in so many ways. And I also request Madam Connie, when you visit him, that's one of the issues you need to discuss with the CEO. My second comment is to the ladies on the panel and also to Madam Sarah, our chairperson. We also know that GBV risk is high. Whatever has been done in the form of women empowerment, most of it is being washed away by GBV risk. How prepared are we to do mitigation and prevention? And we know if we even switch on Wicked tonight, you will get one of those case stories where just a simple disagreement is washing away so much in terms of business. If I would request that maybe even Madam Sarah, you come back and address that, I will be glad. Thank you.
Okay. 2 minutes, please, so that we do a last response from the panelists. Panelists, I hope you're taking notes on the questions.
Thank you. My name is Carol Mumba, CEO for Akari Natural Spices. We do spices and herbal teas. Mine is a quick one, not different from these two gentlemen. How is iSOKO? I'm so excited about iSOKO, but how is it going to drive traffic? Like, why would someone else come and tap on iSOKO and not the other one? Have you advertised it far and wide? Because there are so many platforms, normally, no, iSOKO will not die, but normally these platforms die or they're just stagnant. So how is it going to drive traffic? Have you advertised it far and wide? Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you very much. My name is Pereth from Uganda Women's Network. My question is I am so worried because so many people cheats, thieves, thugs, and whatever it is. And I am already on the app. I am so excited to use it. But I'm so worried because in an event that I get connected to someone and then at the end of the day, this person steals my money or does not deliver the products. Yeah? Will the case be between me and this person, or iSOKO can take over, can handle this kind of case? Because, like, for example, Safe Border, if you order a ride and then this person does something funny on you and then you're able to report. Yeah, that's my worry. Thanks.
Okay, there was one last one. I'm coming to you, Patricia, but after the response. Yes, please.
Thank you. My name is Philip Bamuteze from Baba Media Group. I don't really downlook the fact that You Will is a women initiative, but then if by so happens that I'm a man with authentic products for women, am I also allowed or am barred from selling using the application that has been created or just to be launched? Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. That lady in front of you, yeah, please.
Thank you very much, Connie. My name is Sheila Kawamara Mishambi, Executive Director, AAC, which is the East African Sub-Regional Support Initiative for the Advancement of Women. Congratulations, you will, on the launch of iSOKO. Yes. I just wanted to give information. We work with women cross-border traders at 20 borders, and we are also supported by Trademark East Africa. And I just wanted to give information to the chairperson. AAC has registered a microfinance bank, which we want to grow into an investment and trade bank. So with the support of all the women traders or women in business, we think that we can have an investment and trade bank other than the commercial banks which are ripping us off. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Kindly be brief, then we can have brief responses.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. My name is Oembabazi Judith. I am the founder and director, Check in Africa, an organization that is also interested in women and youth in terms of increasing livelihood. We have a product, green charcoal stoves and briquettes. They're out here. I'll not talk about it.
Judith, I'm going to stop you. Can we welcome the Honorable Minister, our guest of honor? Let's rise up and welcome him. You're most welcome, our guest of honor. Most welcome. Okay, you can take your seats. Honorable Minister, you found us at a point when we are sharing what the iSOKO platform or digital platform will do for women traders in this country and how it will provide solutions to our businesses across East Africa and Africa. We will continue the conversation as Chair briefs you, and we will invite you at a later stage. Kindly continue and make it brief, and we complete this session.
Thank you, Connie. Mine is a contribution in the area of how we can make our app more vibrant. I just wanted to thank whoever has contributed to the app and to request that one of the trending things now in marketing is short videos. So my humble request is if we could have a provision as part of the improvement, and also to request that maybe we have a smaller committee that can be reviewing the app and giving suggestions so that we keep it progressive. I thank you.
Thank you. And there are these two hands, I can't stop them. Please go ahead, 2 minutes.
Okay.
So that we can conclude the discussion in the panel.
Hello everyone, I'm Nakatude Rahma Flavia from iProfile Foundation, Uganda. My question goes to Kenneth. He talked about distributing gadgets to rural areas, which is a great idea. But my concern is how are you going to work on the issue of language barrier, the fact that these gadgets come in a setting of English. Thank you.
Okay. The lady in green is the last one, and I'm going to allow the panelists 1 minute, so just select which question to respond to.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Joyce Okello from Bank of Uganda. I bring apologies from Deputy Governor. I was unable to join you due to other commitments. As Bank of Uganda, when you hear of us, you think of a regulator, but we have also other activities that can benefit members of WIL. We run a financial inclusion program, and under that we do financial literacy, where we teach the members, people how to do basic bookkeeping, budgeting, manage your finances, and I think that is important. Your chair lady already touched on this. This would empower you to, one, keep a track record that can enable credit, access to credit from your bankers, but also keep you empowered to engage with your taxpayers, with the tax collector, the URA. Secondly, we also manage a credit program that targets the agricultural sector, and that we call it Agricultural Credit Facility, and also another credit program called the Small Business Recovery Program that is open for whichever sector you're in, and this was launched after COVID. But maybe my question goes to either Angela or Sarah, mostly about the iSOKO capability. A lot has been said about marketing, but I had so little, no, if not nothing, about the payment aspect of iSOKO. So I just wanted to understand whether this is an end-to-end platform that supports the users to market, but also complete transactions. Does it have a payment capability, and how have you prepared members to use the service, and how are they protected if there's a payment capability within the iSOKO platform? Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for that question, and I'm going to request questions regarding standards, Patricia, to respond to them. I'm not going to allow the panelists to respond anything about standards. We'll start with you, and maybe 2 minutes, respond on issues of standards. I think the issue kept coming in, how are we assured that we shall have standards on iSOKO platform? Over to you.
Thank you very much. How can you be assured? As long as your product has been certified, and rest assured I've gone through the app, and a number of them are, others are not. What is the issue here? The issue about standards, and I'm sitting next to my colleague. Ugandan government institutions are always looked at as #1 regulators. Regulation is the last thing. The first thing is that we promote a lot of use of standards and how to implement them. The quality of your product is your business first. You cannot go, the moment you make a commercial decision, you cannot put your product out there unless you are assured that it is safe. Once it leaves your home, it's not about you anymore. It's about the lives of those who are going to use it. And so a third party comes outside of the buyer and the seller. That is where an institution like UNBS comes to make sure that your product is safe. Ugandan standards are the baseline, meaning below there, it is no longer food. If it harms you, it's not food. So achieve the baseline and the sky is the limit. So the interest of meeting standards should be yours first. iSOKO should be making sure that whatever comes there actually meets the standards. We have already had mutual recognition in the EAC. It means that the standard for maize flour is the same standard. Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, Rwanda, Burundi, South Sudan, and now DRC. EAC is the strongest region when it comes to harmonized standards. COMESA is taking them up. Africa is taking them up. So if you're meeting the Uganda standard, you're already meeting these other requirements. So we have opened the door. The issue is, as has been mentioned here, you've been taken to the water, but I can't force you to drink. Remember, you're using an IT system, but that product still has to cross the border. And you cannot raise the issue of quality at the border. The problem is already there. It requires you to have already done your work before you move. I can't overemphasize what the chairperson has said. One of the biggest challenges we're getting is that 100 women are coming with 100 products. Which one am I going to buy? Those 100 women who are using the same raw material in the same area to do the same thing, they cannot each have 100 processing sectors. But one processing place, they will never feel the pain. You complain about the cost of certification. The standard is not going to change whether you are male, female, black, yellow, red, green. The standard must be met. So when those 100 women come together, the brand they can build is unbelievable. You meet the quality and you meet the quantity, and then you're able to consistently, my friend, there's consistency. You've met the standard today. Will you meet it tomorrow, next year, and the year after that? So, ladies, we are here to support you. We are here to help you. I want to be disturbed that the only thing you're getting from UNBS is that it's taking long. But otherwise, your interest is to get the standard and go and trade. Let us come together. A lot of challenges are also a startup coming with 10 products. You have no idea how to get one. How are you coming with 10? And you have spread yourself thin. So now the quality, today the cream is yellow, tomorrow it is white, today it is smooth, the next day it is lumpy, because you are doing 10 different things instead of one. The big guys who are here, the Mukwanos of this world, Mr. Rabogo can testify. They started with one. My people, learn from those who have gone before us. Coca-Cola is still called Coca-Cola because they started with one. So ladies, let's move together, let's learn. When you don't have a smartphone today, find the person who has the smartphone. When you don't have, sisters, let us learn from our brothers. Because men and women, we must move together. When a man is not educated, he surrounds himself with educated people. So if you don't have a smartphone, surround yourself with those who have. Find access to the one who will have it. We have testing labs now in Gulu, Mbarara, and Mbale. So all work does not have to be central anymore. Let's go to the region. You will get certification from the region without leaving your home. We also have online systems. So you can apply for certification without ever coming to a UNBS office. You will apply online, we shall audit you, we shall collect samples, test them, send back results, everything from your home without moving. But remember, online issues also come with the downside of it, which we must control, members. I think we've all seen a recent thing of somebody trying to sell water in an oil packet. Now, if you look at that video, this is what I like to tell people, because it can happen to any one of us. That video, the only thing you see is the brand. You cannot tell who is doing it, where they're doing it, where they buy it from. There is no information except the brand. So the attack is on the brand that is doing very well. That product cannot be made like that. Do you really think a factory that big could send out a product like that? But these people are talking about it. Why? Because whoever sees it will now say that brand has a problem. So we have the same thing that could happen to us here. But what am I saying as Ugandans? Let's start as Ugandans. All of us here should use this. When we use it ourselves, we build the capacity to give feedback. Tell them this is the challenge, this is the issue, and we start building our own products. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Patricia. And I'm going to request Agnes to briefly talk about the payment process, because we have discussed this in the development process of iSOKO. Agnes, please. How can people be confident that they will receive the money? We have had discussions about this.
Yes, so first and foremost, iSOKO, again, when we did the needs assessment, we found that for women, the challenge that kept coming up was information. So they wanted to be connected to information. They wanted people to see their products. They wanted to cut down the time of probably acquiring information, like some of the things that Patricia was saying on standards, on testing, just bringing something together that would give them information. So what we did is just develop that. The first iteration was an information platform. Since we're testing it and taking it out to people, many people are now starting to request, after this, the women have tested it, they're like, aha, can this now be an e-commerce platform? And that's the thing where now we're going back to look at it. How can we make it fully functional across East Africa to upgrade it to be an e-commerce platform? Because remember the starting point when we had discussions with women in all the 5 East African countries, with the exception of DRC, was that the major challenge was information. And when we took back the first solution to them, they were like, this responds to what we told you. Now the next level is how do we make sure we integrate payments and give people confidence just across the region so that we can test that concept, make sure it works well, build trust mechanisms, and then we can be able to roll it out. So that's something that we're working on. And thank you for the feedback, thank you for the question. But let's encourage ourselves first to join. Let's show people that we can do this, right? See and the good thing with the iSOKO is that the people who list their products have their contacts there. So you can even, as you're doing feedback, you can tell Madam Connie, you can call them, verify first. Is this something that you have? Have a conversation with this person. They've listed all their contacts there. And then now we can move to now the next iteration. But let's get on board and continue supporting iSOKO. Thank you.
Thank you, Agnes. I know those who are already doing business, they are contacting the owners of the product on their mobile phones and sending mobile money, and it's working. But we will get there, as Agnes has just said. Panelists, I'm giving you half a minute. I had given you 1, I've reduced it to half a minute, and then I ask you to step down. Half a minute, each of you. And we thank you for the response you've given us. I know questions were coming to the panelists, but most of the questions, we've taken them on board as management, and we'll have to respond to some of the questions that were directed to you, Will.
Thank you, Connie. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. My parting shots, please, women, let's invest in our own growth. The next time you make a profit, technology will really help scale our businesses. Buy a smartphone. To the Honorable Minister, in our presence, women are facing high cost of data. proliferation of smartphones in the country is limited. We are worried about digital hygiene, digital security, and all these hackings. We request you, and through you, to put these issues to the highest level possible. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sarah, and I think she's speaking for most of us. Now, this is a regulator. Ken, please, half a minute.
Thank you, moderator. I think I have two questions to respond to. One is access to funds, and the other is about competition. Now, for access to funds, we have already previously indicated that UCC is partnering with telecom companies to bring funds and give them to people, and to allow people to pay in installments using mobile money, just like it's done for Yak and other innovations. Now, there was a question on the language that is being used on the funds. Most of these funds are in English, and generally that's the challenge that you will have when you do not manufacture some of these products in your country. For some of you that have Japanese cars, you must have noted that there is a small dashboard there where you can hardly understand what's there because it's in Japanese. Now, the beauty is we have a company that is assembling phones in Namamve, but still, cannot promise that they will have all the languages in Uganda. So they are likely to have English, Luganda, and Swahili. Really, someone has to. But the beauty of it is that we have a new breed of tech champions, that are coming up. Most of you will attest that people that are between 15 and 25 are really better than you when it comes to technology. A kid of 14 years can show you things in your phone which you didn't think you have. Now, with all these are the people that are really coming up, and we are doing a lot in the schools. We are having ICT clubs. We are having national ICT competitions to promote innovations and apps and all that. So in the next 5, 7, 10 years, when most of us have, getting out, the new people will not have this challenge of phones. The phones will be there. The cost of data that you've talked about, I think the cost of data is about, you see, the person that is investing also has to get their money back. Now, the cost comes down as more people are using the service. That's why we want people to use the service, so that then the cost of investment goes, is matched, and then the cost goes down. Now, lastly, on competition, some gentlemen talked about competition from eBay, Amazon. The approach that UCC is using is not to inhibit innovation. We want people to first innovate, and then we have something called a regulatory sandbox. We move slow when we are regulating. We want people to come up with innovations and plans and blah, 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 and then we come in slowly. At this time, if you close eBay and Amazon in Uganda because iSOKO has opened, or Jumia, you will not be able to order for those essential medicines and whatever from Japan, China, or wherever, because iSOKO and Jumia do not reach there. Instead, if I was a Ugandan application developer, I would be trying to see how I can have an integration with eBay, so that someone orders from my application here, but then eBay helps me get those goods from wherever they are, and then I bring them here. But maybe what I can assure you of is we are looking at a time that before we have eBay roll out fully here, or Amazon, or whichever it is, and just so you know, it's actually one of the problems we're having with Facebook. We want them to have local presence here. If it's eBay to be in Uganda, to function really, to start getting maize from Busembatia to Kampala, then we want eBay Uganda Limited, which will have most of its employees, Ugandans, and and the profits, at least 30% of them will remain here. That's where we are going. But we don't want to close eBay. We actually want them to set up here. And the challenge is that they don't want to set up here because you guys have refused to take up, to use e-commerce. But the moment they know that you want to use e-commerce and there is a gap that iSOKO has not covered, they will be here, and we shall require them to be Ugandan entities. I thank you.
Thank you, Kenneth. I think that is also very encouraging that there is hope. Angela, it's half a minute.
All right.
Please.
So I'll restrict it to responding to the question on gender-based violence. Gender-based violence is really a wide topic, but it's a national concern, it's a global concern. What we need to look at is how it's going to impact on us in business, because it has cultural connotations which we can't really get into in a half a minute. But I think it's something that we need to take an even deeper approach. And the call is really for government to work with the partners that are already on the ground to strengthen the gender sensitization, but not, aside from the sensitization, to actually put in place workable solutions, because there's usually a victim and a perpetrator. But if there is no fear of consequences, people will continue to with gender-based violence. So in the case of iSOKO, how does it impact on business and on the platform? When you have business that is fluctuating because of internal home wrangles, your business suffers, but it also kills the consistency we are looking at. Secondly, it also removes a person from being consistent on quality and also delivering on time, which will then bring a reputation that we are not looking at for the platform. It's the same as having the issue on scammers brought to light. The country is being portrayed as having increased in the scamming networks, and you know they were fere. And we are going to lose our reputation on the international market. And what we are fighting for now to increase markets and access to markets is going to be killed because the country has lost its moral values, and the fabric we are relying on is really eroded. So I think we need to have a call to action, and we can really push for this to ensure that we fight the growing distrust in our country when it comes to many aspects, including purchasing. That means the platform must be monitored at some point to ensure that anybody who comes across as a scam artist, there must be either a name and shame approach or some more stringent measures that can show people that if you go that direction, you'll completely lose out. But that's a discussion that we can have further. Thank you.
Thank you, Angela. Thesia, do you have anything to say to the ladies and gentlemen in this August House?
Okay, just to add on the gender-based violence, for a non-empowered woman is more likely to face the violence than an empowered woman. For our case, in our local communities, ever since we started grouping them up and coming up with the whole 900 women, we are more empowered and we look forward to better things. So I would request the different partners out here, if you can come, maybe you teach us the laws that we're entitled to. Some of us actually do not know that it's violence towards us, you know? So if the different partners can come out, you can work with the different cooperatives, the different groups like ours. We have trainings, we have sessions, and we teach these young ladies that it is your right to actually be happy in a marriage. It's not like it's a do or die, you know? Yeah, so basically, I think if we start with a footprint like that, in a few years to come, things will have changed.
Okay, thank you so much. Can we clap for this team? The panelists, you've done so well. I'll request you to take your seats. Thank you so much. Let's clap for them one more time. They've done wonderfully. And as the chairperson prepares to bring our guest of honor to talk to us, I'm going to request that we play a small video about iSOKO to just appreciate what we're talking about and for our guest of honor to get to know what this platform is all about. Agnes and the team, please. Let's focus on the video. Wow. Before the chairperson comes forward to talk to us and bring the guest of honor to launch this wonderful platform, I would like to appreciate the team that has been behind the scenes to develop this wonderful app. The developers, usually we don't recognize them, but they are on the call. I want to thank them for the innovation. It has taken us 2 years. The country director, I'm sure you know, 2 years to have this platform on board. I want to thank Carlton. Can we see the people? Exactly. I'm not going to read their names, but these are the developers that have been behind the scene to ensure that we have a very good app that we are proud of. The technical assistants that have been behind the communication, collecting information, trade information. I can see our colleague Sarah Murungi has been at the forefront of engaging the women to collect a lot of information to inform the platform. I thought there are others, but I also want to thank Trademark Africa team that is here. My brother. Oh, no, it's another team. Trademark Africa staff who are here, please stand up for recognition. You've done wonderfully, David, and our country director, who is also responsible for Southern Sudan. We thank you so much, because we've been disturbing you, definitely, for approvals of most of the components. Agnes, kindly take our appreciation to the Trademark Africa team in Nairobi. The Director of Women in Trade, Gloria, who has been calling us every other minute. We appreciate her time and her advice and guidance. Also, lastly, I want to appreciate the staff of UWIL. If you can stand for recognition, all of you come in. Much as we have been able to reach this far, there is a small dedicated team that has been collecting information and responding. Can I see UWIL team, please? Come forward. The guest of honor has to know who is behind this. Staff, please. Roger, Sarah, Joanne. We are a very small, dedicated team that have made sure in 2 years we have the app, and we are in time, Agnes, right? We have managed it, and other countries have not reached this far, but we are so proud. Come over, I want you to be seen. Come up to the stage, this side. It's a small team, and I want you to know who has been helping to ensure that we have the app. It's a really, really small team, but very, very committed. Okay, that's Sarah Murungi, Rogers, Joanne, the accountant, Diana, our membership officer, Amelia, in charge of our administration, Safik, and Providence. We thank you so much. You have done us very great. We now have an app that is ready to be launched. Madam Chairperson, we welcome you to invite our guest of honor. You can go back, Tim.
The Honorable Minister, members of UWIL Board, the Vice Chair of PSFU, members of the Advisory Council, the elders of UWIL, the staff of UWIL, the women, the gender-sensitive women and men in the room, which includes our bankers, our service providers, all those that support the cause for women, the BDS providers, you are most welcome. I have already spoken, so don't worry. I'm not going to repeat my speech. The minister is well briefed, and he will have access to whatever it is that we've said. Honorable Minister, we've had a very vibrant discussion. He did apologize that there was some little bit of mix-up. He would have loved to be here earlier. But all the same, he will get all the briefing from Connie, all the briefing notes, so that when he goes back, he can brief the Minister for East African Affairs. Honorable Minister, we are very much appreciative of Trademark Africa, who are the main partners for this iSOKO app. And the details have already been discussed, of the functionalities of iSOKO. The women are now ready to fly. We want to see women increase their capacity to actually deliver goods across East Africa and beyond. So today, it is really a great honor for us to be launching this app. I'm kindly requesting the media houses here present that you support us in actually publicizing this, so that more women who may not necessarily be part of UWIL can actually take advantage of this app. I know it is expensive, but you can even share it on your platforms, so that the young women especially, who are doing a lot of trade online, can join it. The women are ready, and although they are facing a number of challenges, they are still determined. Women, we are very resilient. During COVID, we didn't even ever dream that we'll come back again and we'll be with smiles and happy. But because we are resilient, we are more than ready to use the opportunities that are presented to us. There are concerns. I know my care colleague talked about GBV. But I also know 100% that an empowered woman is a resilient woman. And once you are empowered, it also improves your chances to take decisions concerning your personal life. In the villages, there are many women remain in relationships because they will think, if I leave this man, what is going to happen to my children? They will never get an education and so on. So the women, once they are economically empowered, in many cases they are able to take that decision to leave those kinds of relationships. But also, we want to be able to work with the men. I think with care, we are going to be working with the men to tell them that it's okay for your wife to have money. And that when she has money, in the end, all of you are what? Are okay. Because as women, in most cases when we get money, we are able to improve the education of our children, the feeding of our children, and the general livelihood of our homes. So we are going to be working with men, to tell them that it's okay for women to work outside the home, it's okay for women to have businesses, and it's okay for women to be rich. And that women are good custodians of money. So it is okay. Our men here, yeah, they have agreed. Yeah. So, Honorable Minister, we are very confident and we are very appreciative of what the government is doing to support women in business. I think there is no better time to be a woman than at this time, because the opportunities are immense. They are there, and it is up to us to take advantage of them. There are so many: Emioga, wealth creation, what? PMD, iSOKO, grow, name it, there are so many. So it is a good time to be a woman, and a young woman at that. So my duty this morning is to invite you to speak to the men and women in the room and to officially launch the iSOKO application. Thank you very much. Can we all stand up and welcome the Honorable Minister? You see how a woman has supported a man.
The country director of Trade Mark Africa, the vice chair lady, in fact, we are accustomed that every person who's a chair in the chair should be a chairman. But I'm told, I'm advised very, very well here that even ladies can be what? Chairs. So I'm really tracing the chair lady of Private Sector Foundation, the social chair lady of Uganda Women Entrepreneurs Limited, and board members. Ladies and gentlemen, I came here to represent the first Deputy Prime Minister, who's also my senior minister for East Africa, who was not able to grace your occasion today because of other commitments. Unfortunately for me, there seemed to be some uncoordinated troop movement, such that we are not yet quite reconciled about this particular program, but I got to be advised rather too late when I should have been here much earlier. I want to apologize for my late coming. The few minutes I have been here, I've already become envious, wondering why I had not been briefed all along. I would have been the first person in this world. So that all the things that you have been talking about, I would also be a beneficiary. You started it as for women, but because I'm misplaced as a man, but I don't know whether using that knowledge would be called stealing. I've already heard some things from you here, and I can promise you that much as I would be reporting back to the first Deputy Prime Minister and the Minister of East Africa about the success of this occasion, that I intend also to have something for myself so that I can be able to use it privately and effectively, to also to join you in the very race that you are coming on. Quite seriously, on the issue of, we are part of the East African integration process. We need to have an Africa that has meaning to the African people. Because all along, this Africa was only seen as a continent, a dark continent. A continent hitherto very much removed from control by its own people. Now, the integration process we now need is to ensure that the African people can be reintegrated in management of Africa. And management of Africa is not only in being in Africa. It means there are certain key things that we must be seen to be doing. One of them is already, of course, at a political level. Some of us occupy some offices in the name of the country. We are there ministers, wherever we are. But that alone is itself not enough, although it gives the country some level of sovereignty in order to talk equally with the other people in the other countries. The other aspect, which is a very important ingredient of ownership of Africa, will be in the economic field, so that you really integrate the African people with economic activities. And aspects of that include trade. Trade is an important aspect of doing that. Therefore, when we see many African people now wanting to come into areas which hitherto had been forbidden to them. You know, by the way, I don't know, if I had that time, I would have shared many things with you. You know, I grew up long ago, by the way. Although these days I'm still there. I should have gone. But there was a time when in Uganda, you could not be in a hole like this one. You are not allowed. How could an African also be in a place called Serena? To do what? Because these were stranger things. They were not allowed. Africans, your place is somewhere in the stable, somewhere where chickens are kept and other things which are there. All Africans, not only just the women, but all Africans. The chiefs were the first people who became chiefs, were the first people to begin drinking beer, I remember in around 55. We are doing so from stalls. You know, they create a window for you to purchase some product from the outside. You're not allowed to do anything. So, therefore, we had to come through all that area of exclusion of the African people. The political one, the cultural, and every other thing. To the extent that now, we are now trying to talk about the other things. So, inclusion, therefore, of our people in trade is an important element of our integration. And therefore, we welcome you for having done so. But more importantly, is the fact that you are also talking of trade at a very advanced level, at which some of us who grew up as peasants, I'm still scared of using these instruments. Just a phone thing. There is a small phone I have there. Even they have to teach me how to operate it. Sometimes I have to call my escort, please, what is happening in this thing? Doesn't operate very well. But if we have now a situation where our women folk, hitherto also not thought to be very appropriate people to be outside the kitchen, who are now also talking of technology and doing trade at a very formidable level, at which some of the men have not yet been acquired. Well, I will also go and tell them that secret, that oh, you men, you are here, things are coming. If you don't do much, you will be overtaken in such a way. But although the overtaking of by women is not our problem now, because in any case, women by nature have been known that they are mothers. They have been the one looking after us. Our cultures, everything. So they are not likely to be very criminal, like sometimes we men are. We men tend to behave once you are successful, you become very selfish. But women at least will be able to help us to go through a lot of things. So I'm welcoming you to, I'm blessing the fact that I'm now witnessing women who are talking of great things about Africa, and therefore gives me confidence that in your hands, a lot of new things will be happening. And therefore, we will be willing to join you and do much more greater support. And as you go on doing so, also know, I hope, as you have promised here, don't exclude us. We also want to be somewhere. Don't leave us alone. So we'll always be thankful for you, for your coming in. Therefore, it is my honor today. You said you are, what am I supposed to do?
You're supposed to launch.
To launch?
Yes.
What does it involve now launching?
Your blessings.
Okay. I now declare the iSOKO platform launched. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Honorable. And we are going to join the Honorable Minister. Before you come, ladies and gentlemen, to take a picture with our guest of honor. We are so excited, as you will, that finally iSOKO is launched. We thank you so much. Kindly come over. You will team guide everybody. We join the minister for a group photo. We thank you so much. Please, let's join the minister to have as witnesses of the iSOKO launch. Chairperson and your table, please. Let's move forward. All of us, let's join the minister. You have done us wonderful. Our app is already launched, and we request everybody to make sure you download it on your phone. You will team, please help us organize ourselves. Let's join the minister for a group photo as witnesses of today's launch, the iSOKO platform. Don't leave us, please. Let's join the minister, all of us. The media people organize us better. Come, everybody. Join us, please. Can we see everybody up? Join us in a group photo. The media organize us better. We must have our men by our side. Yasi, don't miss this opportunity. We have launched our app, and we make sure we take it back to our institutions and encourage everybody to be part of it. Who is missing? Everyone should be part of this, and myself, of course. The media organizers, are we in order? Photographer, tell us if we are. We want to thank Yolanda and your team for coordinating all this, the East African team that supported us in organizing. Yolanda, please wave to the people, and the minister and your team. We also have products for members outside. As you go out, kindly look at them and support the women.
Recording stopped.